it's occurred to me that there's a special skill required for acting in The Archers, similar to the skill of grunting for action films. In The Archers, it seems to me moaning and sighing is very important.
That's good.
Seems to me when I listen to The Archers on Radio 4 that they're constantly coming into a room and sighing, making tea, and then sighing again, and then that's the end of the scene.
That's the default tone of The Archers. I
think so. It
sort of ennui.
It's something that permeates Radio 4 drama as a whole, is sort of abject sighing.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way of emoting on the radio.
Yeah, well, it's important. It's obviously you can't. There's nothing to look at, no face to express. So you've got to use the voice as a. I mean, you know this, Adam, already as an experienced actor.
Yeah.
You've got to use the voice as a tool in radio, very particularly. But I don't know. Maybe sometimes it gets a little bit much on The Archers.
Right.
There's a little bit too much sighing. I wondered what would happen, for instance, if I took an episode of The Archers and removed everything but the sighing.
Uh-huh.
I wondered what that would sound like, so I done it.
You've done it. Let's have a listen.
This is what it sounds like.
Thanks. Anyway.
Tom.
And,
Hey.
Now you see, it's not bad, is it?
No, it sounds good, man, because you got ups and downs, peaks and troughs in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts off quite fruity there. There's a little...
Well, it does. It sounds like quite a dirty evening in Ambridge, doesn't it? Ambridge, what's it called?
Ambridge, right.
Yeah.
Ambridge.
Ambridge, it's like Cambridge.
It's near Cambridge.
Yeah. But are you good at sighing there? Could you do that sort of sighing? What if just come in the door and say, you've come home from a busy day's work and you're just calling into the house to see if anyone else is there. Go.
Hello.
That's good, you see. What about if the inspector has come to inspect the drainage systems on the farm, and he's laid down a lot of new EU rules on how you're going to have to put the drainage down, and you're telling your husband about all the new EU rules.
Mm. Well, there's a lot of new EU rules about the drainage.
That's good. You really did that one well.
I mean, I exhaled as much as I could.
What about just you've had a hard day and you've just had a sip of tea and you've put the teacup down and this is a sigh that just expresses all the ennui in your life, you know.
Okay. I'm going to sip the tea first, right? Just to warn you, there'll be a sound effect for that.
No, that was terrible.
Too much.
Yeah, that sounded like a horse doing a poo.
You said everything. You said put everything in there.
Yeah, but it came out as a incontinent foal horse.
All right.
Stallion. I don't think anyone in Ambridge would sip tea like that.
Well, I'm doing it. I'm exaggerating.
Well, I was very excited to see that we got a letter from the producer of The Archers, Kate Oates, who says the following. It was with a mixture of delight and sorrow that I listened to Joe's abridgment of The Archers last week. Delight that our actors have finally been recognised by Six Music as being capable of carrying dramatic storylines through the medium of sighing. And sorrow that Adam, despite his best and brave efforts, couldn't quite reach the bar set by our actors.
What?
She goes on to say, I would like to reassure Adam and encourage him not to lose heart at this early hurdle. She's suggesting that you fell over the hurdle. Many of our actors have been sighing for almost 60 years, and many of our younger performers have completed extensive and exhaustive training in, capital letters, emotional exhalations. It was clear that Adam gave his best efforts on Saturday, and we were moved. Now get this. As a gesture of thanks, we'd be delighted to invite Adam into the studio to take part in an episode. Not as a fully fledged character.
What?
You understand, brackets, the audition that he provided on last week's show simply wasn't up to scratch, I'm afraid. Close brackets. But as a background sire, a disgruntled customer in the Bull, perhaps, or a weary churchgoer in St. Stephen's, the choice is yours. Many thanks for your kind mention on the programme. We were delighted by the tribute. Best wishes, Kate Oates. Now, Kate, I've got to side with Count Buckules here, because he is an experienced big-screen feature film actor.
Professional. I mean, you can't call me a trained actor,
He's been in
certainly.
Hot Fuzz, Stardust.
Or even a good actor.
What was the other one?
Son of Rambo.
Son of Rambo. Very, very good films.
Let's not forget The Lowdown.
And The
You I
Lowdown,
both
exactly.
appeared in.
We're both in that. And to say that, you know, he'd only be qualified enough to sigh in the background is very insulting.
I've done radio drama. I did the Yellow Plush Papers at the beginning of this year. You could have heard on Radio 4. I'm an experienced voiceover artist.
I
could sigh for England, woman!
I think you should play a local posh landowner who has bought a mansion in the village of, what's it called? Ambridge. And you just come in for one episode, very haughtily, and maybe romance a couple of ladies. But you're sort of in and out.
Right.
In the romancing stakes.
Yeah.
And then, it's a one-episode only cameo.
Sure.
That has a major impact. So I think on those terms, yes, Adam would be prepared to be in the episode.
You see, I think she's not really thinking about something like that.
No, I want us to write the episode.
Yeah. And I would be called Count Buckules.
You would. And
I don't think that would throw off the seriousness of the show.
Well, it would be tonally interesting. You'd be much broader than their usual characterizations.
Right.
There'd be a lot of Rufty.
There'd be loads of Rufty.
Oh, you're a good-looking woman. Get out here. Oh!
What's happening then?
I don't know. Just use your imagination. That's the wonder of radio, though, isn't it?
Exactly.
It would be a fruity character.
So on those terms, Buckules is prepared to appear on your programme.
I've slipped. My trousers have come off. Oh, it's a lovely day. I'll be off good with you.
Exactly.
That would be fine.
That would really lift the ratings, I think. So that's a proposition for you there, Kate. Otherwise, the deal's off, but nevertheless, thank you very much for your kind letter and tolerating our Mickey-taking.
Who's been on my field? Look at your giant barn.
Mike?
Hello.
You done?
Well, there's a lot of new EU rules about the drainage.
Is Ed around? Right. Well, I'd better go and speak to him. You go home, love. Go on, I'll manage. You leave this to me.
Oh, you're a good-looking woman. Get out here.
I knew you'd say that.
Oh!
That's not going to help us now, is it?
I've slipped.
Look, I don't want to argue about this.
My trousers have come off.
This may not be such a disaster. I mean, we could still rescue something from it.
Who's been on my field? Look at your giant barn.
That does it. I'm not going to stand here and be insulted.
Oh, it's a lovely day. I'll be off good with you.